If you haven't seen my other mini tiered tray videos, I got this mini tiered tray from Hobby Lobby, and in this video I'm going to be decorating it for Easter. For the first DIY, I'm going to be making a miniature book stack using Dollar Tree's tumbling tower blocks. So to start, I went ahead and glued together 3 sets of 2 of the blocks to make each of the books. For the first book of the miniature book stack, I painted it with this light blue paint. For the next book of the book stack, I painted it purple. And then for the middle book of the book stack, I painted it with some white paint. And you just have to paint the edges of the wood blocks for this middle book. To make my book stack, I'm going to go ahead and glue the middle white book in between my blue and purple books, and that will make my book stack. And then for my book stack, I wrote bunny kisses and Easter wishes on it, and I wrote that out with a pencil first, and here I am finishing up going over that with a black pen. And the last thing I did to finish up my miniature book stack was make a cute little bow using this ribbon from Hobby Lobby and glued that to the top of my book stack. Next up, I'm going to be making a little mini sign that says Happy Easter on it, and to make the base of this sign, I just glued 3 of Dollar Tree's tumbling tower blocks together. And then I went ahead and painted what will be the back of the sign and also the edges with some white paint. For the background of this little mini sign, I'm using this light pink polka dot paper from Hobby Lobby, and I went ahead and traced out a little piece that will fit onto my sign and then cut that out. To attach the paper to my sign, I first used a glue stick and then went over top of the paper with some Mod Podge. And I find this to work better for me because sometimes if I use the Mod Podge to apply the whole thing and didn't start with a glue stick, sometimes the paper gets wrinkly, so I find this way to work better to avoid wrinkling the paper. To decorate this little sign, I'm using this Happy Easter wood icon that I got in a pack from Hobby Lobby, and I decided to paint it with this sage green color. Since the background of the sign has white polka dots on it, I thought it would be cute to add some to this as well, so I used my dotting tool to add some small little white dots to it. And then once I finished painting that, I went ahead and glued on the Happy Easter wood icon to the sign that I created. And that was it for this one. It was a pretty simple little sign for my mini tiered tray. Next, I'm going to be making a bunny sign using this wood tag. And so what I did was just cut off the top of the wood tag so that the hole was no longer there. Then I took a popsicle stick and cut this down so that a little bit was hanging off the edges of the piece of wood. And then I went ahead and glued this on so that it was a little over halfway up from the bottom of the sign. This is going to be the rim of the hat for my bunny. And then I used the same light blue color that I used for the book stack to paint the hat of this bunny sign. And then I painted the rest of the piece of wood with some white paint, and this is going to be the bunny's face. And I also used the white paint to paint on 2 little ears that look like they're popping out of the top of the bunny's hat. And then I sketched out a little bunny face and used my permanent black marker to draw on the eyes and the nose outline and also the mouth and some whiskers. Then I took some light pink paint and painted the inside of the outline of the bunny's nose, and I also painted on 2 little light pink circles for the cheeks of the bunny to add some more detail. The last thing that I did was add a small little white dot inside each of the eyes, and I think this bunny sign came out so cute. It's definitely my favorite thing that I made in this video. For my beaded garland for my mini tiered tray, I wanted to use one of these wood egg icons from this pack from Hobby Lobby as the end of the beaded garland. And for this, I decided to paint the back of it. I didn't want to use the design that was engraved on the wood egg. So I just painted some stripes on the egg. And then I took my Waverly Antiquing wax and drew a small line in between each of the stripes. And then I also used this to lightly distress some more detail and make the egg look a little bit rustic. And I painted my miniature wooden beads with these same blue, pink, and purple colors that I used for the rest of the projects. And then I strung them onto some bracelet string. I did something a little bit different for this beaded garland and ended up tying it together like you would a bracelet, because I thought the wood egg that I painted was a little bit too big for one end of the beaded garland, so I thought maybe if it was attached to both ends it would look more proportional. So this is how I ended up attaching it. I don't really like how it turned out though. It reminds me too much of a bracelet, but it was fun to try something different for this mini tier tray. And here is how everything looks put together on my mini tier tray. I think all these pieces turned out really cute, but my favorite is definitely the bunny sign that I made.